Hello everybody, so as you may have already guessed, we are the Carlow Pride Festival Committee and we have felt so much love from Carlow in the last few months. So today we want to give some love back to someone very special. We have a huge surprise for somebody in Carlow, so check this out. Hello.
Surprise.
Hi. Oh. Do you know why we're here?
No.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you why we're here. Can we come in? So, Nicole, have you any idea why I'm here?
Well, something LGBT related, obviously.
Oh, well, I think so. So, you know, for the last couple of months, we know that you wanted to get involved with Carlow Pride Festival. So I know how much Pride means to you because I've met you up at Dublin Pride, right? And obviously we're having the very first one in Carlow this year. So we feel because you are a really inspirational person and you're such a wonderful person and you've touched so many people's lives and made such a difference to everyone's lives and you're a fighter and we want someone like that in our corner. So we want to ask you, will you be the first person to complete our route and be Grand Marshal of our parade? Yeah, look, and I got you this. It says, Carlow Pride Festival Committee bestowed the title of Grand Marshal to Nicole Carroll on the 21st of July 2019. Nicole will lead the way to be the first person ever to complete the route of Carlow's inaugural Pride Parade. This title holds historical significance for LGBT plus people and it is therefore awarded to Nicole because of her incredible outlook on life and her inspirational attitude. So how do you feel?
I don't know. Happy, of course.
Well, we couldn't have had Carlow Pride without having you front and centre. We decided to pick you because since we've started with Carlow Pride Festival, we found that there's lots of people in Ireland still that don't really have a voice for many different reasons. You're such an inspiration and you're so confident that we felt like what a great ambassador for us. And I think your story is going to resonate with a lot of people in Ireland. Do you want to tell me about your life and being born differently abled?
Well, it's always been like the stairs, this, looking at that, but that's just a thing you overlook. The chair's just an accessory.
Yeah.
It's me you're with, not the chair.
And you know, what does like pride mean to you?
Just to show inclusion and just to break through the barrier of just a normal gay person or a normal, like, just to break that cycle that there is more than just that.
Well, a lot of people don't think when they see someone who's differently able, they don't think, oh, well, that person has a sexuality.
Yeah.
And that person has those challenges to overcome as well.
They don't think that they think about having girlfriends or boyfriends or anything like that. They just think they're disabled and don't even know what that is.
Yeah, and you have the same needs and wants as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to tell me about like your, let's say, struggle with being differently able growing up if you had one, and then maybe a struggle you had with your sexuality?
Yeah, I've always had trouble with this because I've always been afraid of what people's perception of this is before of what they think of me as a person. So I've always struggled with that. That's why I've always tended to shy away from people. So I've kind of learned to just to overcome that because you can't just live your life like that.
No, you can't.
No.
And what about when you started to realise, oh, I have a sexuality?
It was just kind of like, oops, okay. Like, kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like, is this normal? Then I started seeing on the telly people like me, and then out in the street people like me. Then I felt like, oh, I'm not the only person out there that's like this, but then I thought, oh, I'm the only disabled person like this, so kind of felt kind of strange that way, so kind of just kept it to myself. which I normally do, but yeah, I'm learning to overcome that now because
And how did you overcome that?
just by just telling myself that there's people like me out there that need my help. I'm going to make a difference. I'm not going to leave anybody unshadowed like I was. So
it was the week after the referendum. I think the referendum done a lot for a lot of people. She came out a week after the referendum, and you know, I think she struggled for a good year or two before that, you know, before she came to terms with the fact that she actually was gay. I suppose for any young person, it's, you know, in their mind it's the worst thing in the world, but I think for Nicole she had a fair idea, you know, about how it was going to be, about being treated differently, because, you know, that's the way it was with Nicole, you know, being differently abled. And, you know, she was, I suppose, thinking, you know, I've got this now and I'm gay, and it's, you know, what are people going to think of me, you know? But I suppose when Nicole came out, you know, we reassured her that we loved her and we had a fair idea, you know, but in her head things were so much different. And I think, you know, it's parents should be mindful of that, you know, and just listen, you know. And, you know, I know it's hard for parents, it is, especially, you know, in our case, you know, you worry about your kids, but, you know, I think it's important to put your own feelings aside and, you know, just listen and reassure that you love them, and, you know, everything will be all right, that it is okay to just be you. The challenges were, you know, I suppose being treated different when she'd be out and about, or I suppose the challenges, you know, in school when, you know, there was buses that couldn't be arranged and she'd have to sit back, and I suppose being left out a lot, and, you know, we've had, yeah. And I suppose we had to fight a lot because of that, you know. Your
perception then of her struggle with being gay, how does that compare to her?
I think she struggled a lot more with being gay, to be honest. I think she accepted her disability very well because of the life experiences we've had in Crumlin. And, you know, we have seen an awful lot worse.
How do you think, in your mind as a parent, she struggled more with her being
I think she struggled because she was treated differently anyway, and now there was going to be this on top of it all. And I think she thought, you know, God, how am I going to go forward with this? Like, or how is Mammy going to accept this on top of it all? Or how am I going to be seen?
You were worried, were you?
Very worried.
Yeah.
It's a big word out there, so yeah.
And you don't want to get caught up in a big word?
No.
Because you don't want to get hurt?
No. So it's kind of like, my own little private.
You locked yourself in.
But I encouraged her to be herself, and I think that's very important. And, you know, I encouraged her. We went to Pride in Dublin, and, you know, which was an absolute wonderful day. And I think, you know, the LGBT community are very welcoming to everybody.
But now you're here today and you're going to be our Grand Marshal. Like, what do you think that says for Carlow Pride Festival?
It shows that it's okay to be different and never shy away from certain situations because one or two people does it. Just because 1 and 2 people are doing something doesn't mean you can't either. It doesn't matter how big of the group is doing something or how small of the group is doing something. If you want to do something, you do it.
What would you say to somebody sitting at home that identifies with a part of your story, with all of your story, to someone that might be going through the same struggles you went through? What do you want to say to that person that's watching now?
It'll get better. It always does. If it doesn't for your family, just be aware it does for yourself. You have to make better for yourself for it to get better. You can't just sit back and expect it to get better. You have to work for yourself. Be confident in who you are. Confidence is the main thing. You have to find yourself first and be confident and stay with that confidence. Because if you don't have that, like, it's not going to work out for you. Like, you have to be confident in the people you're talking to, for the people to understand you. You can't just say, oh, I'm gay, and let everybody just say, oh, I can't accept you, and then fight with them and stuff like that. You have to learn that these people are getting used to it just as much as you are, so you have to learn to deal with that as well as
and be more tolerant.
Be more tolerant, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say, because I've got one more surprise for you, right? So not only did we want to have you to be the first person to complete Carlow's very first route in Pride Parade, and we also wanted you to open Pride with some spoken words and poetry.
Oh, nice.
Because I know you're a really great poet, and I've been following you online, So will you open up Pride for us?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, yay! You'd be honoured? Oh, well, we'd be honoured to have you. So we finally have a huge message for everybody who's watching at home. What do we want them to do?
Come on down and be proud of who you are.
Yeah!